Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Perth Mint for what is an incredibly exciting day for netball here in Western Australia. Before we do begin, I would just like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land upon which this event takes place, pay our respects to elders past, present and emerging, and extend that respect to all Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people here with us today. I'd also like to make special mention of the Gold Industry Group member partnership representatives who have kindly taken the time off to join us here at the announcement today. It's fantastic to have you join us. To officially announce the partnership, would you please make very welcome the Gold Industry Group Vice Chairperson, Kelly Carter.
Thank you, Nathan, and good morning, everyone. Today marks a historic day for netball in Western Australia, a historic day for women's sport in Australia, and a historic day for our state's gold industry. I'm delighted to announce that the Gold Industry Group is committing to a record $5 million to netball in Western Australia over the course of the next 3 years. This investment is the largest in women's sport in Western Australia, the largest in Netball WA's 95-year history, which will underpin the development of netball from grassroots level in this state right through to the elite West Coast Fever squad. We're very proud to partner with Netball WA to work towards our common goal of advancing netball and advancing communities. As the principal partner of Netball WA, an elite partner of the West Coast Fever, and the first premier partner of Shooting Stars, will directly benefit more than 230,000 participants and their families right across Western Australia, increasing participation in the sport and helping to change the lives of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander girls living in some of the state's most remote communities. The Gold Industry Group has demonstrated a long-standing commitment to diversity and inclusion, and we see important parallels between supporting the netball stars of today and tomorrow and in developing our own pipeline of female industry leaders. We're looking forward to working alongside Netball WA to create pathways to gain employment in the gold industry across a whole range of areas, to pursue higher education opportunities and to become leaders and role models in the sector in the future. This is an unprecedented project for the resources sector, with member companies of the Gold Industry Group working collectively to generate real benefit for our communities, both in metropolitan Perth and in the remote areas in which we operate. I'd like to acknowledge the Gold Industry Group members behind this collective partnership, including Goldfields, Northern Star Resources, Saracen Mineral Holdings, Newcrest Mining, St Barbara Limited, Newmont Australia, Anglo Gold Ashanti, Gold Road Resources and Ramelius Resources for their generous commitment and ongoing support for this project. This partnership is truly one of a kind, and on behalf of the gold industry, I can say that we're extremely proud to be able to support the netball community at all levels right across Western Australia.
Thank you, Kelly. A wonderful announcement for both netball and the Gold Industry Group. To speak on behalf of netball in Western Australia, would you please now make very welcome the head coach of West Coast Fever, Stacey Marinkovic, as well as Netball WA General Manager of Community Netball, Liz Booth, and the Executive Officer of Shooting Stars, Fran Haynes.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today I have the honour of speaking on behalf of Netball WA, West Coast Fever and Shooting Stars about our wonderful partnership with the Gold Industry Group. Today is truly a landmark day in netball in Western Australia. This partnership sees the largest commercial investment in West Australian netball's 95-year history and one of the most significant partnerships in women's sport in the country. Our partnership will have tangible results for both netball in Western Australia and the Gold Industry Group. So we are very proud to be walking alongside each other as we walk toward making today's vision tomorrow's reality. Today's announcement will empower our 230,000 participants across the state to take control of their netball destiny, from grassroots in Suncorp Net Set Go to the elite in West Coast Fever, as well as into our Shooting Stars program. Netball WA has a clear purpose of advancing netball, advancing communities, and this partnership will certainly work towards achieving that purpose. West Coast Fever has the purpose to inspire and make you proud, and this partnership will seek to inspire the next generation of netballers to strive to don the green dress one day. Each time we now step out on court, we are doing so with the proud support of the Gold Industry Group, and there is no doubt in my mind that this partnership will directly relate to more West Australians being involved in our great game across the state. Shooting Stars empowers local communities to lead social change, and there is no doubt, thanks to this partnership, the program will continue to affect genuine change in the lives of hundreds of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander girls living in West Australia's remote communities. This investment will result in more Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander girls in schools, furthering their education and helping them to realise their full potential. The levels at which this partnership will connect our netball community will be announced in the coming weeks, cutting across multiple areas of our sport, and deliver exciting new initiatives such as leadership and mentoring programs, education and recruitment pathways, intra and inter-community engagement activities, and ambassador roles for our athletes. Whilst the partnership will commit more than $5 million to netball in our state, we both understand that our relationship transcends sport, with our organisations both striving for the betterment of our local communities. The partnership firmly supports netball as West Australia's leading women's sport. Only netball can boast the strength of such a meaningful and significant partnership for our almost 250,000 participants, and it's one that we are incredibly excited to see develop over the next 3 years. On behalf of Netball WA, the West Coast Fever and Shooting Stars, I say with a heart of gold, an immense thank you to the Gold Industry Group for the investment in netball and your foresight in advancing our sport. Thank you.
Thanks, Stace and Fran and Liz. We'll now open up to questions from the media. If I can just invite Kelly and Stacey back up just to field any questions that the media may have.
Why netball? I think as a sector we've always looked for need and opportunity in our communities, and this is no different. Obviously the scale of this project is different to what any of the members of the gold sector have done individually, but this was just a great opportunity to get behind women's sport and really enable the netball community to flourish in Western Australia. I think we recognise that we don't have the presence of some of the big end of town, and this was a great opportunity to collaborate with Netball WA, which really shares our values and to greater promote the sector.
What does it mean? I think it's fantastic. It just shows that netball is the premier sport in women's sport, and I think it also represents that it's not just about what the players do on the court, but what we do around in communities, because I think the role models that we have, the values that we live, and particularly for Fever, we are a Fever family, and we want to make sure that we represent all of WA, and I think working with the Gold Industry Group with their spread across our state and also interstate really helps us solidify what WA brings. Oh, you can do a lot. I think we've had lots of opportunities and the sport's forever been growing, but I think whilst we want to continue to grow our pathways from Net Set Go all the way through to the West Coast Fever, I certainly think that gives you resources to be able to do that. But it also enables us to spread healthy messages across communities. It enables us to go into remote areas to use our sport as a driver to not only do the elite, but also to help everyday people, whether it's boys or girls, use netball and sport to help evolve their lives and friendships and all those type of things.